Just had my Malinki de journée in this little coffee, amazing coffee and cookies if you come to Stalingrad. Right in front of the museum of Stalingrad. Right there is the only, well, one of the only structures left from the war is the flour mill. You know, it was a factory there, a mill, and that's what is left standing. I'm gonna go into the museum right now. You can see one of the airplanes right there, and this kind of like, this reminds me, I think it's gonna be like the one I saw in Pyongyang last month, where you go into the museum and you go through an spiral to a dome, and in that dome you sit down, and that place where you're sitting, it goes around and it shows you like history live in three-dimensional, you know. Anyways, the weather is cold. They're amazed. The locals are amazed that I like this weather. But yeah, this is my kind of weather. I don't know if you dig out into history of the Stalingrad section part of the war. The city never fell to the Nazis, to the Germans. The city stood up against the attack. And one thing that saved the city was that the buildings were designed in such a way that when it was bombed by the Germans, instead of collapsing and making a complete mess out of the city, the buildings stood up and the streets were cleared. What happens is that only the buildings became like caves and like labyrinths, and it was really the advantage of the Soviet army, to the advantage of the Soviet army, because they could attack the Germans. And obviously we know that von Paulus surrendered his 6th army in this city. I'm gonna go looking for the place where his office was later on. He surrendered to the Soviets. Hitler made him Mariscal before he surrendered, so it had never been in history a surrendering of a German marshal, and he did. He's the first one and probably the only one that has surrendered. There's an aircraft over here standing right by the Volga. Beautiful. And there's a museum. I'm gonna go in. It's probably still closed. I hope it opens today, because it's Tuesday. Yesterday probably wasn't, because it was Monday. So let's pick at the Volga. The banks of the Volga. There's this World War II aircraft with a couple bombs on the belly, the machine gun emplacement in the back. It rotated, obviously. The guns, the cannons, or the machine guns are missing. All the ammo is missing, obviously, for obvious reasons. There's this very rough made aircraft that did the job cheaply. You know, if you can see, if you check out the detail, it's not made like the American aircraft. It's made a little more rough. There's a cannon, 2 cannons on one side, 2 in the other, on the other side, on the other wing. Place for the bombs in the belly, the cowl flaps to open up and cool off the engine, and there's the radial engine. There's the flour mill, and that stands like a sword, you know, the defense of Stalingrad. Let's check it out. There's a lot of buildings still standing. Obviously those are from the 1940s, after the war, because there was nothing left over here. But I'm just gonna go and check the schedule. This is the access to the Volga. There's people practicing something out there. Martial arts, the aircraft again. Let's check out the Stalingrad Museum. One of those terrifying T-34s from the Soviet Army. Look at this beauty, still standing. This particular T-34 standing right in front of the entrance to the museum was pulled out of the river. It was pulled out of the Volga, and now he's standing out here proudly after a job well done. The armor on this machine was amazing. You can see the armor plates, how thick they are, and you can see how roughly it's made. You know, no shiny, no QC, no QA shit. You know, it's just pieces cut, welded all together, put together, and as soon as it was done in the tractor works factory here in Stalingrad, it would roll out hauling ass to attack, to defend the city. Look at this, look how rough it is made. Very, very, very rough. You know, not a Mercedes-Benz, but this motherfucker did his job. Kicked some fucking Nazi ass. Very beautiful thing. Wow, look at the welding. Oh my God, look at those beads. Horrible, horrible. But they needed to have it out and ready, and that's exactly what they did. Look at the turret. Wow. Oh, there's the data plate. Machine guns emplacement. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's at 10 o'clock, so I got some time to kill. There again is the remains of the flour mill. This stands kind of like a sword up into the sky. Beautiful sky today. And right here there's a tank, blown out tank. Wow, look at what is left of this. You know that everybody died on this tank. And the plaque, no idea what it says, but I found out. You bet I'll find out. So there's a wreath for the crew of this tank that died a horrible death. The plaques around. Oh, I gotta go and see that thing too. There's Shukov right there, my hero. Shukov, the man that liberated Stalingrad and took Berlin. There he is again. Marshal Georgy Shukov, the man. The band of St. George, the colors of St. George. 9 May. That's when we celebrate May Day, the end of the conflict, victory over fascism. Everybody's happy because the war ended. Look at that, the Reichstag being taken. Nice. 9 May with the colors of St. George. Dobre utro. There he is, the man celebrating with Ike and Montgomery. I don't know who the other guys are. The guys behind. Actually, the surrender was signed on the 8th of May, but Stalin and his people wanted to have a different date for their celebration, and that's why they pick up 9 May, the next day. So they did the celebrations all over again. There's some tracks standing right there. I don't know what the meaning is, and there's some beautiful, look at those gorgeous tanks. My God, look at the tank, look at the cannon on that motherfucker. God damn.